Hello everyone, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we just witnessed Renegades coming in hot, looking very, very good. Overall, just locked it down. Avangar, seemed like everything just went wrong for him, Snods. They had weird communication in terms of rounds, there was no real cohesion in the utility usage, and it was over before you knew it.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, what, 16-10 versus SK on Cash, 16-8 now versus Renegades with Mirage. And really, Jack, I don't know if you'd agree with me here, you probably will, but those scorelines don't really represent how close that match really was. It's pretty much a blowout in terms of the buy rounds.
Yeah.
So far, though, Avangar, 4 out of 4 pistols have been won for them. So, skills there. Problem is, why do they transition that into the buy rounds? Is it because they lack so much team play, so much cohesion? Why is this such a stark contrast between the pistol round and obviously transition that into the buy rounds?
Yeah, what's weird as well is it actually seems like on the pistol rounds they still play the normal style of CS we expect to see from what's transitioned from them online. It's that good form, it's quite aggressive, they actually play that style, but as soon as they get into rifle rounds, it's like they try and switch things up and don't feel confident playing their normal style of CS here online.
Yeah, I mean, the T sides looked a bit shaky early on. We're used to seeing the slow, methodical defaults from this Kazakh side, and instead, they were going for group plays, 4-1 style of CS, one player on the other side of the map, 4 towards the other portion. You'd have that one player, try to do a fake, and then they'll try go through, as a wolf pack, essentially, as a 4-man unit to the other side, hoping that they had forced over rotations and the other team to panic. But seems like for Avangar, obviously, the experience is the commodity here. Instead of actually gaining, group stage status or making it into the playoffs, it's more about getting the utility and the the overall trip and the overall experience of the whole IEM Katowice.
Well, the thing is, yeah, they're going to walk away with this with some good demos to look at. Obviously, you've got a best of 3 against Renegades and a best of 1 with SK. There's quite a lot you can actually take away from those best of 1s as well, because overall, throughout both of the games we've seen them play so far, they've only really, I believe, statistically had, 5 bomb plants total?
Wait, across both games?
Yes, it seems like it's really been hard for them to actually gain site control. Obviously, they've really been looking like their T sides have just been blown out the water consistently. It's only been the pistol rounds that have really been where they've been able to pick it up. That's what's inflated both score lines as well, because they've won both pistols in every series.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that is so crazy to me, the fact that you start the half as well with great money. This is the thing. It's not as if it's like, okay, there's a reason why they can't, instill and project their game plan. It's because they lose the pistol. Because they lose the pistol, they don't have the AWP onto Jam in the first buy round. They lack utility to, execute their game plan. Instead, it's the complete opposite. They have all the tools at their disposal. And instead, it's the, opposite, as I said, for their opposition. They're the ones that have to fight back from a 3-0 lead. They're the ones where if they lose a round, they get their money reset. And Avangar always start with the, advantageous position.
Yeah, Avangar have actually been able to come in looking very effective in every one of the pistol rounds we've played. In terms of the strategy that's been run and the sheer confidence in their individual skill as well, it's been through the roof. It's been very smart CS in the pistols. The strategies they've been running have been impressive, but that just doesn't transition into the buy rounds.
But more for Renegades, is it Avangar playing poorly or is it just Renegades playing so well? And then there's the argument, obviously, to be had. There were a lot of, I don't want to say gaps in Renegades play, but we saw parts where it could have been exploited by Avangar. Where were some of the set plays they could have used to counter the heavy mid-control we saw from Renegades, even when we had, situations which favored the Kazakh side, 4 versus 3s, Justillo's 1 versus 3, for example, when they're on their CT side. Not Kazakhstan. Avangar from Kazakhstan definitely have opportunities to, gain a 30 into this matchup, but it feels like every single time that is fall short.
Yeah, we need to see a change here. Our second map in this best of 3, though, is going to be Cobblestone. If it is pushed the whole hog, it will be Cobble as our finisher, but let's keep ourselves grounded for now as we're going to be over on Cash, obviously, for Avangar. We saw them play against SK. It was actually pretty good, but a lot of it did come down to the fact that they were getting pistol rounds to work with. They got themselves into a pretty good spot off the back of that. In terms of the rifle rounds, their T side was struggling. They started to get more momentum back on their CT half, but it's going to be interesting. What do you think about Cash here?
I actually feel like this is going to be a much different Avangar we're about to witness. The reason being is the pressure is off. You've got to think of it like this. You came into this best of 3. You've lost your map pick. You're now in Renegade's map pick. There is nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yes, there's going to be pressure there on their shoulders. Yes, there's going to be stress onto this roster. But right now, nothing to lose, everything to gain. And that could be a worrying sign for Renegades if Avangar start this one off hot.
Well, this is the thing, it's do or die as well. If they lose this map, they are out. That is it. It's good night for them in the tournament, Snods, so they better be ready.
Smoke comes out towards Highway, as it should be bursting in towards the A site, but instead only 2 players here, and it's going to force the over-rotation from Avangar, leaving just Buster alone towards the B-bomb site, so Avangar need to find these frags soon.
Well, the first frag is going to go the way of Crizzen. Azza does trade it back on Buster, but look at this, the true development towards the B site, as the B site has been taken. They're going to get it planted quickly in default as well, as JKS will get that bomb down. There is 4 CTs remaining.
Oh
they do outnumber them, but can they retake this?
3 players coming in vent here. This could be a highlight from Azza. Let's see, finds one, needs to go for the second as well, as the bomb is planted for B main, so if they can hold on to Checkers, it makes such a big difference going forward here for Renegades into this pistol.
Well, it falls back into a 2v2. Yustillo has the angle, though. Jame on the cross, luckily, actually draws out the fire, so he's able to bypass. This allows QCut to get up close and personal, and he lands the hook of a lifetime, takes down JKS. The response is there from Yustillo. It's now or never. Look how much time they have to play with. He's charging in. He's trying to get up close, but he's going to be able to grab it. He gets the defuse. Oh. Another pistol round for Avangar.
5 out of 5. Well, on Mirage, they got reset at this point, Jack, with the double play with the CZs towards Connector. What are Renegades going to be throwing at them now? The bomb was planted, so we should be seeing, you know, theoretically an eco here into round number 2 from Renegades, but with the confidence gleaming from them after the very one-sided victory on Mirage. Maybe they could go for the Audacious Force, but instead it will just be the reserve play, playing for the long haul. They're going to be ecoing into this one here. Should be around for Avangar to stack up the cash. You can see already 3 SMGs as they get aggressive towards A main.
Oh, he comes out from Nifty. Just trying to go for those taps, see if he can find anything with the Glock, but nothing too glorious just yet. For Renegades, though, see how they opt to play this one. Yustillo actually already across boost. Now going to be able to get out towards close mid, Snods, as the response is already there, though. You can see the 2-player setup from the CTs coming down, looking like they're trying to peek together and try and crunch in on this. Dimasek finds the initial frag. KM can actually trade it back, and he isn't punished as well. He's allowed to just stay alive towards mid, gets a second, nearly a third. Jame is low, has a UMP, but he's dead.
Is he facing? Surely you're going to go for the trade frag if you're Kikurt, but gets dinged up as well, Jack, and this is heartbreaking now for Avangar. For a second time in this best of 3, they've claimed victory onto the pistol, and they're going straight into the anti-force to somehow let everything slip past them. As we now see ourselves into the 1 versus 3, no Kevlar for the remaining players onto Renegades. They have 1 M4 to work with, and the last little bit of utility just going to be dished out towards Connector, but it will bide enough time for the bomb to transport itself up highway with no congestion, as the bomb will go down towards default. I don't think it's planted frame main here, so maybe that's a cause for concern for Renegades.
Buster slowly slipping his way through. Clearing the angles correctly, but the peek is awkward. Might find the first frag, but obviously they can just peek now from behind. Azza will deal the damage that was necessary, and that's the reset coming back through. Renegades find the round as we go 1-1.
He's got a great smile, hasn't he, Jacob? That is a great smile.
He loves it.
He loves it. He absolutely loves it. 1-1 now. Renegades win the eco. Don't ask me how. That's one of those rounds where, when you try and analyze that one, my goodness. I mean, what? Jame dinked up instead of falling back to a headshot angle, playing the range of the M4. Who knows? Playing the highway angle behind the toxic barrels, only showing his head. Wide faces, no refrag from QCurt as well, as he, you know, was a bit reserved in that scenario. Extremely messy and strange and discombobulated round from Avangar. And now it seems to continue as they lose the first player. Dimastic goes down through the smoke and sandbags. Minute 30 left on the clock here as Renegades gain control towards mid. And now the site, or should I say the map, is at their disposal. Do they want to go for a B split via vents? Do they want to go for a, an A split via highway? They can just wait this one out with patience, waiting to see who gets the next frag where.
Yeah. The world is their oyster at this point, as they can just try and decide wherever they want to go. Jame taken down as well, as Yustillo just taps and connects those shots. The AK fire will slowly rip them apart. Avangar taking hits that aren't going to bode too well as time starts to tick down as well. 55 seconds left on the clock.
Here it comes then. 5 versus 3, make it a 5 versus 1 as Yustillo chimes in for a second as well. The headshot into prison, leaving just 1 player. Buster all in his lonesome and eventually will be dealt with as well. 2-1 as it seems like Renegades are up in the ante into this one. As we go into round number 4, the buy round should be coming through, unless I'm mistaken, which I am. That was the force buy from Avangar. This does not bode well, especially on their CT side of Cash. I mean, we know maps like Cobblestone, Inferno, Cash, T sides, when the economy is in their favor, they have the grasp of the money, it's very easy to snowball that advantage. You deny orbs, utilities from the CT side, the momentum is something that's basically tangible on these maps. Oh my gosh, and the form from Easterlo continues.
Yeah, whipping out the showstoppers as he wants to just connect these pop shots time and time again. Nice HE coming through as well as they're trying to blow him out the server. Both of them go down. It's just QCurt and Crizzen left. They can actually arm themselves at least. There's weapons to be scavenged. But let's see if an uprising can be caused. QCurt and Crizzen hoping for something in this round. There's still a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, but B has completely been taken. That territory's been claimed for Renegades, and they're cutting off the rotate as well. QCurt trying to do his best Bruce Willis impression as he sits in vent, forced to fall back. He doesn't want to risk it.
2 versus 3. Crizzen now on the flank from behind. The timing isn't in his favor as Nifty, with the peak, baits out the shot essentially, and will claim that frag. 3-1. Avangar, obviously this was their eco. They found 2 frags. They conceded the bomb plant to Renegades, so extra cash obviously, but then again, you know, finding those 2 frags, they've maybe taken out $8,000, $10,000 worth of investment from Renegades Bank. So at least there's something to, you know, to be positive about. Keep it optimistic, Jack, because obviously so far it's been rather pessimistic this tournament for them.
That is true. It's just been a bit of a struggle for them in a lot of these rounds. They've never really been given the opportunity to actually get the ball rolling the majority of the time. It's because those buy round resets as well, Snots. Even though they've been winning pistol rounds, when actually you get into buy rounds, it's been very, very brief when we have seen them actually link rounds together when they're in those rifle rounds.
Round number 5 then. AWP for Buster this time, and James. So double AWP setup coming out from Avangar, and that could be very effective here. The reason being is obviously Renegades, are they going to go for a set execution? Most likely not. Are they going to be over-facing potentially the confidence they have? Are they going to be going for a contact play here and there? The AWPs could definitely be prolific here and extremely effective. As they leave QCurt alone towards A, playing towards MBK. They have James here towards Highway, trying to see if they can find the first frag and maybe challenge Nifty's AWP, but actually 5 rifle setup here from Renegades into the first buy round on cash. Do they try and do a set piece towards the A side? I know that they lack the AWP if they want to try go for that, you know, entry style sort of play on the T side, or do they want to try and utilize the utility to gain map control as they try to force out a fake or some over rotation from Avangar? But here comes the contact play, and Buster misses.
Buster, he could be busted for this mistake, but luckily he turns things on their head, starts to deal damage with the AWP as he connects a nice 2K. Fires back and really starts to dismantle that T-side push. But the response is there. Azza finds the kill on QCurt. Didn't expect anyone in the elevated angle, so he didn't clear it. Dimisec comes out. Timing works fantastically for him. 40 seconds left on the clock as well. Renegades only just arriving towards A. James!
Oh my.
That's a bad miss in that equation. He needed to connect it. Goes down to JKS. The bomb will be planted as well. Nifty. All he's got to do is just protect his teammates, Snod. They're in a manageable spot.
2 versus 3. Defuse kit onto Crizzen. They have 1 smoke as well for the bomb, so they can maybe try and smoke the bomb, tap it, and draw out the peaks from Renegades. But instead, it all comes down to this.
JKS with a spray. Is allowed to find the first. The second comes through in the form of a nifty little package from Nifty. Crizzen as well, hoping for the best. They were both tagged up, but he just couldn't land the shots. A free AWP has been given to him, and Renegades continue on as they get another round there. Avangar still with only 1 in the bank. Renegades leading the challenge with 4.
5 versus 3 as well there, Jack. Buster finds the initial 2 frags towards the B side as Renegades trying to come in with a contact play. Obviously, you had that 1 player towards A main that faked A, hoping that they could force over rotations from Avangar towards A from middle, and it worked initially. And still, 4-1 here, as they're now going to be deducted down onto a much weaker buyer than prior. Avangar only going to have 3 sets of Kevlar to work with and some upgraded pistols.
Oh, James as well. He's been red. The Molotovs will counter the play. He has to just hope for the best, essentially, as he's clearing these angles. But you can see the paranoia. He's expecting the aggression to come through. The timing, they just need to clear the angle. Chikaeum will do the damage. And that's his position completely taken out. No chance for an upset off the back of him now as map control's being encroached upon. Mid is open. It's going to be smooth sailing for Renegades. They just need to decide where exactly they want to strike.
Minute 5 seconds left on the clock. Bomb making its way in towards checkers here. They have the lurk as well coming in from Nifty, potentially towards CT. And obviously, as this is the eco round from Avangar, these players don't really have any resistance to give versus Renegades. Avangar going to be falling into an even larger deficit here as we go into round number 7. It's going to go 1-5, and I want to see a pause from Avangar. What are they going to change? For Renegades, it feels like individually, even when they are in, situations which favor Avangar, 2 versus 3s, or the 5 versus 3 we saw, where somehow, Nifty, Azar managed to transition that into a round victory for themselves. What do they need to change? Originally, I would have said the double AWP setup should be effective, and it was. They found the 5 versus 3 scenario off the back of the AWPs. But into the mid-round, Jack, I think they're just simply being outplayed.
It seems like it. Obviously, just unable really to find too much. Kuka looking to find some exit frags. He's going to get spotted. JKS with the kill with the AWP as well. So it might have only been CZ and Armor, but it's still more things being stripped away from them round after round. And here's the game changer. It appears to be the idea they've gone for. So the double AWP setup coming through. 1 on Jame, 1 on Buster.
So I do like the double AWP setup here coming out from Avangar. The issue is we need to see an improvement into the latter portions of the round. Nifty this time has the AWP as well, so Renegades were just exploiting Avangar with 5 rifles, and now they're finally going to be entering their final form as they make their way in towards A main. 3 players in towards aforementioned A main. 1 towards door as well, that's going to be Azza. Kuka with the M4 towards Forklift, as well as Dimasic makes his way on towards default as the boost comes in towards the box on A site. So this is a good thing from Avangar here. If an execution comes out from Renegades, Kuka can hide behind the box, flash out, and then obviously jump on red and mow down Renegades as they exit A main. But will that come to the forefront? As now Nifty makes his way here towards the site, lines up his smoke as well. It's dished out towards Highway. Molotov as well for Vent, trying to see if they can mimic some mid-control. But in reality, the real hit comes towards A.
Here they go. They've decided to go for it. They've unleashed the hounds, and they're going to be stripping their way through. It's easy picking so far, but the response is there in the form of a little HE being gifted to them. Tagging them up and blowing them out of the server as they fall into a 4v3, but they've got post-plant positions, they've got angles they can defend. For Avangar, it depends if there's going to be any chance of a potential upset. Obviously, those AWPs are going to be restricted. You can't really run the risk. Chris might actually find a kill, though, as he connects the headshot back on JKS, but even then, Snods, 1 kit on Buster, no utility in a double AWP, and 3 take ain't going to be likely. They're trying to make the best of a bad situation, though. Nifty misses the flick as well. It's just him and Ustillo left. Time's ticking away. They don't have long. It needs to be now or never. Jane with the AWP will get the entry, but Ustillo, AK, he can be an artist with it, and he'll spray a pretty picture as he finds the headshot on the back of Crizzen, and that's it. He's won the round. He's done the damage, and he might be able to deny the save of the AWP on Jame as well.
Oh my
Tags
god,
him
he
up,
thought he
but the
killed
bomb
him.
will do it.
Wow. Yeah, but that's how to win a 1 versus 2 from Ustillo. 1-6 now, and Avangar. I want to see a pause. Something so they can recompose themselves. They've now lost 6 rounds in a row. They claim the, first pistol round. They've gone 5 for 5 in terms of pistols. Instantly reset. They lost versus Glocks with no Kevlar as well, just to rub salt into the wounds. And after conceding 6 in a row, it feels like Avangar almost accepting defeat at this point. We saw pauses early on in Mirage when they were in deficits and they were losing and the momentum wasn't in their favor. Where is that now?
That's a good question. There is aggression from Dimasic, though, as he plays close under. They haven't detected him. Dimasic actually does get away with a free frag on towards Ustillo, but there was no potential to recover the weapon. There was always going to be the trade from Azza. So it does fall back into a 4v4. Still favouring the T's here. They've got so much more range, tons of utility as well, and a lot of time. They're not forced to funnel through as they back off and try and decide where they actually want to take this round here.
Yeah, I mean, it's an uphill struggle as it is. I mean, let alone the scoreline being 1-6 and the buy rounds and the 2 versus 3s, the 1 versus 3s you've seen so far. It seems like the lead is going to be extended from Renegades as well when you look at the polar opposite buy that they have in comparison to Renegades. Just going to be upgraded pistols onto 4 players and Kevlar only onto 2. They have 2 flashbangs and 1 smoke to work with, so they can maybe try and smoke out a site with 30 seconds left and force Renegades to run through it. But that's really the only cause for concern here, as they will clear out the site. Jakim will dispatch of Jame, leaving just Buster now the 1 versus 4.
Yeah, Buster miles away as well, obviously sees that in hand. He can attempt to find the weapon towards mid, potentially, if he wants to hunt round, but he'll probably be taken down for it. Not really worth the risk. Seems like he is just going to let this one slip through. That'll be a 7th round now picked up for Renegades, as their T side just looks tremendous. And this is going to be 7 rounds back-to-back as well.
7-round hot streak, as you just alluded to. I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself a lot here, Jack, if I keep asking for a pause from Avangar, but that might just be a sign of the mental fortitude dwindling away from Avangar currently. We saw the fight within themselves on Mirage, and as soon as they lost that anti-eco, or the anti-force, well, it wasn't anti-eco, there was no Kevlar, just Glocks from Renegades. That thing's really gone in their favor, so what's going to be the difference here from Avangar? As they do go for a pause, so maybe, just maybe, this could be Avangar rekindling themselves and doing something better. I mean, in terms of what they should change, what do you reckon, Jack? What's your initial thoughts?
Once again, for Avangar, I mean, it just seems like they're struggling, really. It's been over faces for me as well in a few of these rounds where they've been trying to play with aggression. Obviously, the instant reset round we saw, where it seemed like some of the players wanted to try and still extend, try and fight fights that weren't necessary.
Some wanted to fall back.
Yeah, there was no real communication. Obviously, it didn't seem like it was a straight call of, okay, let's just hold towards mid. You could see Jane was obviously trying to fall back, didn't want to support, whereas some of them were just trying to aggressively peek. They got left in a few awkward situations. It seems like maybe their heads have just drooped. We didn't see this earlier in the day, but it seems like as it's gone on, it started to grind on them more and more.
B main control going to be coming out here from JKS. That's Buster with the AWP here, one of the AWPs, should I say, on the CT side. Station towards Checkers, also going to be backed up by Kristen on that B-bomb site. Where is that secondary AWP? Oh, primary, should I say, if it's in James' hands. Playing towards Highway, so if I'm Renegades right now, what am I expecting? I mean, looking at a bird's eye view of this map, a B split would be extremely, extremely prevalent versus the current setup we see from Avangar. The reason being is, Jack, you've got AWP towards Checkers. You also have the primary AWP playing towards Highway, which means if he falls back, he goes in towards the A site, and suddenly there's only 2 players stationed towards B for a good, 10, 15 seconds. And if they go for the wall of smokes, it's going to leave this AWP useless. My goodness, Jack, it feels like Renegades have the same idea as me. 3 players in the bomb situated outside this B main position as the smokes come towards mid. James AWP still towards Highway, nowhere near B. But a good reposition from Buster as he leaves Checkers, comes back from a more defensive position in towards the default site. You still are making his way in towards B main as well as the smoke fades. Jakem going to be tossing the smoke in towards CT, Molotov towards default as Renegades make their move.
Let's see if Renegades can bring the ruckus towards this B site, or if they're going to feel the might of Avangar as they push their way through. There goes the first 2 frags in favor of the CT side defense as they're decimating anyone that dares to push towards them. Buster with the AWP will get the first once more. Lands the headshot as well as the overkill starts to come through. Finally, there was something for the side of Avangar. Azza, he's behind them, essentially just hunting, trying to force economy out of their hands, but it isn't going to be possible. Avangar will now get their 2nd round on the board as we move on, getting into round 10.
The positives then for Avangar, obviously, both AWPs have been saved. 4 players staying alive into that round as it was a commanding victory for Avangar. So it's not as if they have 1 player alive and they're on, reset potential. And a big thing for me is Buster having that spatial awareness. He knows that Renegades was slowly encroaching upon that B bomb side towards B main and vent and middle and whatnot. Makes a great reposition back in towards default, so he isn't susceptible to the vent split. Able just to mow them down. And speaking of that, Dimmerstick with a revitalized round, it seems he finds the first frag onto Nifty towards mid, but you still are going for that trade.
Ooh, Dimmerstick tagging up Ustillo there. Molotov going through as well to try and stop them from getting towards vents. He's actually getting it together as well as he takes down both of their heads with a clean cut. Starts to rip them to bits. Azza as well will return the favor over towards the A site, but it is now only Azza left, the Lone Ranger, the last Renegade remaining, as he's got to try and fall back and hope to get something. 1 minute and 11 seconds left on the clock. A 1v4. It's not looking too fantastic, but he could try and actually extend out a little bit here. Force economy out of their hands if he wants to run the risk. Obviously, there's a lot more money in the bank of Renegades than there is anywhere near on the side of Avangar.
There you have it. 3-7 now. as the money is still extremely strong for Renegades after a commanding 7-round hot streak after winning their eco round versus Avangar. And now into round number 11 then, let's take a look at things. Double AWP set up again from the CT side. And this time for Renegades, no AWP onto Nifty Jack. That might telegraph a set play. Let's see what they're about to bring to the table. Still looks like a bit of a default. 2 towards B, 1 towards mid main, 2 towards A main, but aggression here from the CT side as Q-Kurt comes in.
Oh, Nifty finds the first headshot with the AK as he is able to connect that shot, takes down Q-Kurt, and that's a pretty vital member of Avangar, already been removed very early into the round. That's not going to bode well for them. There needs to be some kind of bounce back from it, snap to reality for Avangar. As they're setting up for this play towards the B site, Renegades. They're just going to roam into the unknown and hope for the best as they entry their way through. The AWP is there and it slams down the door, but is that going to be enough? Will it get the brakes on them and stop them from continuing through? Another tag lights up JKM, gets him low. As you can see, they're still trying to develop this push. They want to take that site control. They're on site. The bomb has gone down. It's going to be a 4v4 fight now for the retake. And 2 of those players are over at A. Jane will take down Nifty. He can rotate to aid them, but the trades are coming through. They've got utility as well. They can hold this back for so long.
Woo bang headshot there from Jacob towards CT onto Dimmerstick. And suddenly when we saw the advantage for Avangar, it's been shifted into an even playing field. 3 versus 3. Jane with the up as well towards Vent. Such an awkward scenario as well to be in. JKS as well rattles shots through the smoke. Finds another. Oh, 1 shot there as he gets a second through the smoke, leaving Jane without any options apart from trying to go for some consolation exit frags. 8-3. How much cash has Avangar got left in the bank? As Renegades have basically put them back onto the round loss bonus.
Yeah, they've come in very, very nicely there on the response. Just being able to beat them to bits and get themselves back into an effective position.
I mean, it's a 4 versus 3. Jacob headshot wallbangs through CT checkers onto Dimmerstick into a 3 versus 3. JKS or Jacob, one of the players, is on 15 HP. JKS lights up 2 players through the CT smoke. It's one of those rounds for Avangar where there's so many questions left unanswered. Group concept play now towards the B-bomb site. This time Renegades haven't shown such a wolf pack style of CS. It's always been a default into something. Because right now Buster, they're not ready for this.
No, Buster has to drop down, but he is going to be ready for that, Snods, as he lays the groundwork to potentially a round win, especially when aided by his dynamic duo, his teammate in Prison, who's going to be able to find these frags and stay alive, pushes around the box, but couldn't quite get the edge on Nifty. Jame arrives as well. Nice Molotov usage, try and burn them out of the site and force them out, lands the frag on Azza. And it is all left on Nifty. He's got 2 kills to his name in the round. A minute left on the clock, but he's being pushed, and the CZ is too much as he gets cut short in the round.
There you have it. Renegades going for the contact style of CS. They group up as a 5-man unit. They all come in towards this B-bomb site. Buster boosted in, trying to peer in towards Sunroom, expecting, that player. I believe it's JKS that lurks towards B. Smoke, towards B main. Molotov comes out towards Checkers. You do that flashbang just to force an AWP back into Checkers. And then you wait in towards Sunroom. That's what Buster was anticipating, the same as what they've seen so far every round on the T side from Renegades. Instead, they try to switch things up and change their game plan. Group up together as a 5-man unit, as I said, but Buster again towards the B-bomb, so the AWP has been a key role and a pivotal factor here for the Kazakh side in gaining some momentum and at least something to work with.
4-8 is the scoreline as we get back into round 13 now. You wonder as well whether this will continue on. Snods for Renegades, still running that 5 AK set where they found success, obviously playing a lot more with momentum, just being able to sprint their way through and find those frags with the aggression rather than playing that slower style of CS, and the Wolfpack seemed to work pretty well for them.
Renegades going back to the defaults, obviously back to what worked. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. Round number 13, already 8 rounds here for the T side from Renegades, so as a bare minimum they have won this half, even if Avangar chime back into this one and win the remaining 3 rounds. 5 AKs again here from the Renegades squad, as they are lacking the open to Nifty. A 2 set play coming in from Avangar towards their mains. They can leave Q-Kurt alone there. They have map control to work with, Jack, which means they can stack towards middle, stack towards B, where they expect and anticipate Avangar to be, Renegades to be lurking. As the smokes come in, the retake towards their main should be on the cards extremely shortly. And how are Avangar, or should I say Q Kurt, going to be dealing with those Aussie players coming in towards team main?
Well, this is the thing as well, they've actually backed off. Q-Kurt's fallen out of the position and just held on the close angle so he can try and escape. Still finds a lot of success though. That's tremendous as he finds the first frag. And you still are going down as well to the AWP of James. If James ready, he might be able to net himself a second prize towards mid as well, as there's more fish to fry. Azza on the entry though, able to reinvigorate the side for Renegades. This is where they want to take site control, but they need to be ready to land these frags and win on the firefights. James, the only member trapped on the site. A few of them attacked up, but will he turn them into frags? Will be able to do so as he converts, but couldn't find the flick. Azza takes him down as we fall into a 2v2 retake. They're both low. They are getting the bomb plant down. There's still one more Molotov on Buster, but it is all on Buster.
Been such a star here for Renegades if there is anything to shine light onto. But unfortunately, it's been when players walk into his crosshair, as now we need to find the individual duels, 1 versus 1, isolated into the first, gets JKS, is defusing with no smoke. And as it goes to the white face, oh my gosh! The 90-degree readjustment there, the no-scope comes in, and Buster. His stock is rising here, Jackie made a lot of noise at the major qualification. People scouting him out, as he's been turning heads.
Absolute trigonometry, Snods. He knows his angles as he flicks up. I mean, that was ridiculous. Looked like he was just going to go for the full commit.
Yeah, I know.
Like it was over.
I thought Az has won that one. Well, maybe there's still a chance here for the Kazakh side. 5-8 now. Renegades. In the 2 versus 2, we've always seen Renegades having the advantage as well, especially when Azza finds that frag and it's in a 2 versus 1. So far for Buster, he's only been shown, prowess with the AWP when players walk into his crosshair, not vice versa, when he has to be the one to make those duels and those engagements. And the timing, it may be dire here for Avangar as the boost comes in just in the nick of time, but can they get away scot-free?
Managed to get him the elevated angle, but they go out, they clear it, but it doesn't matter. Q-Kurt does damage, but the first 2 frags go back in their favor anyway. James tagged up and then eventually taken out as the A site has just been overwhelmed. They've swarmed in and they have just completely encroached on every inch of it. Buster, he's coming back through, but surely he can't create too much noise like he did into the last one. He's just going to have to save. Forced to fall back as Renegades will get themselves a 9th round. Looking like they want to try and grab 10 on the half as well, because this has just been incredible from them.
The money as well, it's going to be so awful for Avangar. They're going to be saving the AWP at least. It seems like no one from Renegades is going to be hunting as of yet. Maybe they have no idea where he has saved 2. It seems like JKS has an inkling he's gone back towards the B-bomb side as he makes his way towards Ven. But there you have it. Bomb going to explode, expire, and send us into the final round of potentially what could be the final half here. Obviously, if Renegades win this one, they had the map advantage after claiming Mirage 16-8. And now onto Cash, they have this 4-round advantage. But, I mean, for Renegades, the timing is so perfect. Q-Kurt gets boosted up. His teammates trying to go back in towards the site through forklift. It's obviously mollied out from the player towards door. He walks into the Molotov, an easy frag found. And then Q-Kurt, obviously in such a televised position, finds 1 kill, instantly traded out. And in the 3 versus 4, when the site was in the domain of Renegades, we know they're not going to be letting those rounds slip. But now, 2 CZ, should I say. 1 AWP for James, Deagle as well for Buster, and the UMP for Dimasick as they try to get close.
They're going to go for the counter boost. Peak comes up though as still a speeded up time there to find that frag. Nicely done, obviously very smart. Azza as well, continuing on, he takes down Dimasick as this push will come around towards the B site. It looks like they are just going to go for the heavy hit and hope for the best. The counter flashbang goes through, but it's too little too late. Chrism was already out of commission before he even got a chance to cause a stir. Damage being caused by Buster. He only gets 1 though, so there will be a trade back from Azza. It's a bit of a struggle. This last round, obviously just having the 1 weapon on James is never the best. Those Renegades, they've got the bomb down. You've got 3 players remaining. James would have to go on to clutch this round individually. With only 16 HP and nothing to make his life any easier, Snods. It's going to be a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, had to go for it, obviously. Being the last round of the half, 16 points of health, has the AWP at his disposal. But 1 shot from those AKs would have taken him down. And no defuse kit, no utility, no real chance 10-5. Avangar, can they go 6 for 6 out of pistols, Jack? I guess we're going to find out shortly as we head to a quick, swift break.
Intel Extreme Masters.
All eyes are on you. So give them greatness with Intel Extreme Masters certified PCs and notebooks and game like the pros. When you see the unique IEM certified stickers on the outside, you'll find high-grade components with Intel Core i5 and i7 processors inside. Every purchase includes in-game content and supports the prize pool of Intel Extreme Masters. Game like a pro, because the world is watching.
Absolutely pringled there.
Crispy, crispy.
Well, it was a pretty impressive first half from Renegades, Snods, as they got 10 rounds under their belt. Avangar trailing behind with only 5. But still, once again, they get the opening pistol. Things start to go a little bit awkward. There's a few rounds where a few small tweaks here and there could be the difference maker.
Yeah, you say a few rounds, Jack, but it was a 7-round hot streak for Renegades early on the CT side. Apologies, T side, where obviously for the same storyline, the same conundrum, Avangar can claim these pistol rounds, but they can never convert into any more. It's always the one round, they lose the force by. And now, as we go live into the pistol here in the second half, Renegades, can they try and deny the so far or hitherto perfect record on the pistol rounds for the Kazakh side? This is going to be JKS investing into the smoke and defuse kit. And here for Avangar, they have the smoke Molotov, so most likely going to be a concept play towards the A site. They're going to be clearing out towards MBK, towards quad, smoke towards highway, and try and swarm this A site if they do decide to go towards A. But let's see. Still a minute 30 left on the clock. They're holding for the aggression from Renegades. They're expecting something fast-paced.
Can Avangar continue their streak of not dropping a single pistol round through the group stage so far? Let's see into this one as they'll hope to get something out of it. Obviously, the bomb working its way back round now towards the B site as they're going to get grouped up. They have been clocked towards A as they'll group up outside of B. Buster wants to be the one to entry. He's been looking brilliant, so you wouldn't be surprised.
Jacob playing towards checkers. Alone in towards the B site, so these frags are pivotal. As he is dinked down, and the B site is weakened.
Yeah, he's been softened up. Let's see if they can finish him. Molotov goes through. There's the frag, but it's a trade anyway. Jacob with a headshot on towards Dimisic. That is absolute lunacy that he's gotten away with that. But the retake going to be coming over towards this B site as they've got into where they need to be. Jane going to try and get that bomb down, but Krisen from behind just opens this one up fantastically, but nifty. He's swiftly in. You can see he's fast and he's ferocious as he's clicking these heads, trying to smash some skulls and continue with the USP, but surely they won't give him any more opportunities. No reason to face. Buster holds the angle as well. Takes down Nifty. It should be another pistol round for Avangar, and they'll grab it. 6-10 is the scoreline.
Oh, this is outrageous here, Jack. 6 out of 6 pistol rounds. 1 for Avangar. And they've still gone 0-2 in maps. Potentially 0-3. As it does go, 10-6. Renegades still having the 4-round victory. They are going to go for the force buy across the board, apart from Nifty obviously saving for that AWP into the first buy round. No need or reason to take that risk into this one in case you lose it, and then obviously you sacrifice a major part of your CT side defense when you go into the full buy rounds. Mid-control here from Avangar, obviously going to be utilising the fact that they have those SNKs, which are so much more prolific at range versus the upgraded pistols. So they have the massive advantage to try and gain entries here and weaken the defense from Renegades.
You say S&K? Like snakes?
Instead of...
SMG?
Maybe. I was looking at something on my, the screen.
Yeah, you would can over the economy. Well, they've snaked them up, Snots. They've slivered in, and they're looking good as they actually find success. Nifty on the site with a USP. Dead now.
Dead now, of course, being constricted as they make their way around the site. Although one consolation frag there for JKS as eventually gets traded out there by Dimmer6. So should go, or it will go, apologies, 7-10. Renegade's going to be on 20 into the next round as well. So should be a, tightening matchup in terms of the scoreline ever getting closer. But for Renegades, I wouldn't be getting worried just yet. Maybe if it gets to, 10-10 or 11-10, maybe you could have some cause for concern. But if the buy rounds are anything to go by in terms of Avangar so far, if we use this tournament as the margin for comparison, I'll still be feeling rather comfortable if I am at Renegades. But standard anti-eco there, obviously, from the side of Avangar. You go towards middle, you have those AKs, you take the initial jewels, get in towards mid, peek towards highway, peek in towards the A site, gain those early advantages across the map as they made their way in towards the A site, and it all went in their favor. Eco now for Renegade, so for Avangar, especially as they have 2 MAC-10s here, Jack, they're going to have to get aggressive in their face, stack up and farm as much cash as humanly possible before they get into the buy round, so they have as much of a buffer in terms of economy as possible.
Grouped up very aggressively towards the A site as well, as it will be a bit of a stack for Renegades as this push is about to come in from Avangar. They're going to be setting the entire place ablaze as they light this one up and hope to start to shut it down as well. Damage being done. They are dishing out the blows, but they can't quite finish anyone off as everyone's tagged up and in a bit of an awkward spot as well. Ustillo pushing back through, finally falls to James, as he will get that kill with the MAC-10. Everyone going to be rotating around as well. The around the world coming through. Headshot galore now though. Krisen in the elevated angle. He's got the high ground and he'll run away with it.
As the last alive, trying his best to diminish any economy he can from Avangar, but eventually will be dealt with. Extremely strong spray control there from Krisen. 10-8. Round number 19 here then. James has a MAC-10. Interesting to see if he actually carries that forward into the buy round, or if he does that signify what Avangar are going to try and do into this one? Maybe a door burst with the MAC-10? Burst through a B main smoke potentially? Obviously we're used to seeing the defaults from Avangar where they have the orb wielded by James, so lacking that big green gun could leave their T sides quite desolate. But already aggression towards mid. Nifty finds the first towards high with the AWP. Now they make their way in towards their main and Squeaky.
A minute and 20 seconds left on the clock here. The utility coming through. Nade lobbed out from James.
Trying to nade a plane or something.
Yeah, he was trying to blow them down. But right now, just waiting for this push to come through. The smoke's going out.
Who knows? Maybe it was some, next level 3-dimensional chess where he does the nade. It obviously dims down the sound for the players on this default side, and they line up some nades or something crazy like that, or some elaborate ruse, but yeah, I'm not sure if it is really that detailed.
You could have just been lobbing it.
Could have just been lobbing it.
Well, let's see though, as they reposition through, obviously grouping up now towards that B site, Snods. Heavy aggression towards mid. Where do they go from here?
That is the question. Obviously, you got JKS here towards B main, playing the box, I believe. Might be the reason why we see Renegades heavily stacking towards the A-bomb. So obviously they have that information towards B main. Jakens will clear towards mid. 5 versus 3 now. As Jakens should I say JKS, is about to be tested and finds one. Goes for the second. It seems like Buster is lost in towards Checkers. And now James trying to catch the rotation frag. He will get one, but only the MAC-10.
Doesn't wait for the second or clear towards the right though by Truck. So Azza was able to get it for free. Very easy. And that's the response on the rifle round. Obviously just being able to outclass them there, to be honest with you, as they came in thick and fast. Renegades now of 11. Buy comes back through for Avangar, though. Let's see what they can do. James does have the AWP, and it is quite critical to their T-side setup. So let's see if he's going to be able to wield it and show off his skills.
Round number 20 then. 8-11. 4 rifles and 1 up again for Renegades. The exact same to be said for Avangar. As you can see the aggression coming out from Azza. Tries to go with the flashbang. He goes for the jump peek, baits out the op shot. The Molotov will deny the early wide face from Renegades. They are lacking control towards their main, but then again, they've shown the op from Jame towards their main. And now Nifty playing towards white box, maybe expecting someone to come towards boost. Smoke towards connector as well. So it should be a mid play here from Avangar. Try and gain mid control. They're going to be mollying out vent as well. Did it land? Yes, it did. Molly coming out towards sandbags instead, but Nifty. Oh, there's a big gap in that smoke.
Yeah, big gap. Big potential for a margin of error. Oh, lands the no-scope, but tags him. Takes QKurt down to 15 HP, but QKurt still finds the frag as he gets the kill with a headshot. 50 seconds on the clock as well. Renegades down a man, waiting for the push. Heavy grouped up towards the A site. Crizzen, if he tries to go through this play and bust down the door, really finds success. Regrouping as well now as the T's want to try and go for this split play, it seems. James been removed. Justillo goes for the confidence peak. Molotov as well to waste so much time. There's only 30 seconds left, Snods. This is going to be dire. It's do or die.
Let's see then, 25 seconds left here for Avangar. Crizzen towards door. Going to be going for the duel and wins it versus Justillo early on. QKurt as well comes in from the rear, finds the frag. And also gets a second as well as he goes back towards highway. So leaving just JKS down the 1 versus 3. Has to defuse kit. That seemed like it was all Avangar. Sorry, all Renegades in that scenario. Got the players positioned 3 towards the A site. 20 seconds left, but still, the headshots land in favor of the Kazakh side as they pull this one back.
Yeah, I mean, QKurt just started to go massive into the round, landed some filthy frags, and just ran away with it, really. For Renegades now, JKS just hoping to see if he can actually get away with a save. That's going to be the 9th round on the board for Avangar off the back of this one. Continuing on, it just depends if they can actually try and keep this up and link rounds together. Because the issue has always been, sure, they might get a random flash-in-the-pan buy round here and there, but actually keeping them consistently and linking them, that's where Avangar have struggled in the rifles.
9-11 then. Renegades are going to be reset, obviously. They lose the pistol, they win the first buy round, having 4 players alive, so the money isn't dire. They will have a few rifles to work with. But Scout for Nifty, no AWP, 2 rifles as well, an M4 there for Jacob, AK for JKS, CZ, Deagle for Justillo and Azza, and 1 defuse kit. As now, Avangar, if they want any chance of the upset being on the cards and sending us to Cobblestone, they have to win this one and reset the money for Renegades because they could easily tie us up 11-11.
That's up. CZ not going to work out from the fork this time. He couldn't get anything too cheeky. Oh, Justillo pushing in. Does damage with a Deagle, but it's just going to be short-lived. No real reign of terror. Nothing that can be continued on. QKurt straight away, though, on the aggro. Trying to use the aggression against them, as he will find the headshot back on JKM, but there was the trade from JKS. It's all down to JKS and Nifty now. This duo can be deadly at times, but it just falls down to him on his lonesome. Forced to retreat, Avangar going to get 10 rounds. They're actually starting to bring it back. This is the best we've seen them do in a while in terms of linking rounds together.
Yeah, I mean, what? They win the pistol, they now won 2 buy rounds here into the second half. It is going to go double digits for both teams. 10 for Avangar and 11 for Renegades, which means the money should be severely weakened for Renegades after forcing the prior round, obviously having the 2 rifles, Scout, 2 upgraded pistols as well. JKS will save the AK, so ooh, actually no, Buster spots the elbow. No save weaponry here for Renegades going into round number 22. It's going to be Eco, so we should be seeing, you know, the scoreline equalized across the board 11-11. Mac 10 invested into by QKurt, so they're going to be expecting weak and poor economy. Interesting thing to note, Jack. The AWP here from Avangar sitting in the middle. Obviously, one of the things Astralis did was they had Device sit in the middle. The reason being was he wasn't calling, but more players could see his screen. The coach could see his screen. Remember, 4 of the players in this roster are from Kazakhstan, apart from James from Russia. Maybe the Kazakh comms aren't there for James, so they have him in the middle, so more players can see and call for him.
very possible. Obviously, the AWP as well, going to be able to roam a bit more, give him a lot more info, so it would help out. Q-Kurt, in terms of the flood that just came towards him, he was a bit of a slowdown. He was able to delay it ever so slightly and find 2 frags, which was nice, but Dimasic is going to be the true plumber, the man to actually stop it completely, put an end to it, but he doesn't, goes down. JKS was ready for it, turns on him, and not only that, finds a free frag and an AK to make this round slightly more manageable. They can run the risk of going for it as well. There is no armor. They're going to be able to get that buyout no matter what. They might as well throw something into this one and risk it for a biscuit, as the first frag will go the way of Crizzen, though. Is able to slow him down. Time's ticking away. It's do or die now, so they might actually have to just play for exits because they don't have a kit. And they don't really have a chance.
2 versus 2. As you said, no defuse key here. Just going to be playing for the extra frags. Obviously, $600 a frag with that MAC-10, so there's cash into the bank for JKS. Now, 6.4k for JKS, so we can actually drop over the AWP for Nifty, so we should be seeing a very full, strong buy from Renegades, as things have been rather quiet on that Aussie side. Where has the momentum slipped to? Is there going to be a pause for Renegades to reconfigure their CT side defense, or are they going to go back into the Matrix straight away? And it seems like they are just going to be going straight into the action here. 11 to 11. James has his AWP, 4 rifles as well for the T and CT side, as we see the default buys across both entities. Avangar, what are they going to be changing into this one? And the answer is aggression. Jacob instantly taken out the equation as the re-aggression comes from Renegades towards A main.
Yeah, that is brutal from Buster. Just swings wide, takes him down. The response is there from Azza, though, as he'll annihilate Q-Cut. Nifty as well, with a naughty little frag on James. As all of a sudden, there's only 3 players remaining on Avangar. Seconds into the round. 1 minute and 25 still left on the clock. They're pushing in towards that B site. JKS is there. He's got utility to slow him down as well, as he's just going to try and go for the info peaks, and he'll have a free headshot as well whilst he's at it, as they're just pushing in. He is demolishing them. JKS, headshot after headshot, absolutely living.
And there you have it. Renegades get to 12 as we head into round number 24. The B split tries to come in through vent, through middle, through B main. But JKS, the star player, the anchor towards that B bomb site, lays down the law essentially. As now for Avangar, do they get the reset in? This is the thing that's interesting for me. Obviously for Renegades, it's happened twice now. They won the first buy round after conceding the pistol. They got reset. Now they've won this round. They get to 12. As we go into round number 24, if their money gets reset for a second time, Jack, Avangar are going to have the lead. It's going to go 12 to 12. Renegades going to be forced onto a fairly weak buy. Avangar win that one, 13 to 12. Then an eco from Renegades, 14 to 12 potentially. Could be the scoreline in front of our very eyes, as long as the Kazakh side can try and find and search for some consistency into this matchup. As with a minute 20 left on the clock here, you can see Avangar leaving no stone unturned, as unfortunately the slow default actually works in favor of Buster. Or Nifty, sorry, as he finds Buster. Dimasic with a reply frag though, so it is still a 4 versus 4.
Oh, James as well. Greedy little frag there towards mid as he'll take down JKS. Nifty trying to do the same, and he will actually deal the damage back towards Dimasic. A little taste their own medicine. Crizzen somehow slipped out the side door. No one detected him. And he actually did a fair bit of damage with the AK. Was able to punish them. And it all falls onto just James. It's going to need to be a ridiculous round coming through if he wants to bring this back. A 1v2. He's got 40 seconds, Snods, as he's hoping to equalize the scoreline back into a 12-12. B is open.
Yeah, he knows one player's towards A. As soon as Nifty shoots and rattles off that up through the smoke at connector. Oh, this is smart, but this is so risky. This all comes down to a matter of seconds. I think it's 18 seconds to go back from A to B. Or maybe even less than that. He's taken too long, Jack. You can see Azza not going to fall for this one. He has the headshot angle as well. This is a near impossible round for James to win.
Yeah, it was adventurous play. It doesn't work out. Had to try and get the bomb out. Wanted to go for the instant plant. Azza was there. All he had to do was spray towards him. He was always in the stronger position into that one, Snods. And Renegades now 13 in the bank. And they're going to be feeling pretty joyful about that.
Yeah, I think that was the last chance really for Avangar in this tournament, Jack. 11 to 12, you have a chance of resetting CT side's economy. Renegades, if they were forced onto ecos and weak force buys, and we saw a 14 to 11 scoreline, oh sorry, 14 to 12 scoreline if they won 3 in the row. Then I saw a chance. Then I saw potential for Cobblestone, but now they've lost this one. I see this one being, concluded fairly effectively for Renegades. 16-12, 16-13. I don't really see much room here for Avangar.
Ooh, trying to go for their counter boost, obviously just hoping the run boost play would work as they swing him across. Somehow it just came down to Nifty missing the frag more than anything, as he was hoping to connect that one. Repositioning though as they link up towards mid. If they try and go for something a little bit audacious, that would probably be the best idea. Just charge in, go for something rapid, try and hit them where it hurts, but it's a bit broken. It's staggered as well. It looks stagnant as they start to fall down, Snods. It's only Krizen and Dimasic remaining. Dimasic does actually have the AK though. He could have been the difference maker, but now he's gone. That is it. You imagine it will be over. Renegade's going to grab that 14th round, 2 away from knocking Avangar out here in the group stages.
Second pause now, I imagine. Coming out from the side of Avangar, that would make sense, as they're the ones that are in the back seat currently. Backs against the ropes as well in terms of what they can afford, what they can do. As the buy comes in, it's going to be the AK for Jame as well, so they are lacking the AWP. But then again, online, when I was watching their demos back, Jack, the AWP on Jame was so fundamental. So prolific and effective with the AWP. He was so aggressive. He found so many entry frags. And here, seems like, I don't want to say teams are worried about Avangar in terms of upset potential, but when you look at the run-through they had to get here, Jack, 2-1 versus Mousesports, 2-0 versus Argo, a team that's had so much recent success, 2-0 versus Godsend, 2-0 versus Space Soldiers as well online. Maybe there was a bit of, hesitation or anticipation for a bit of firepower behind this roster. Instead, it seems like it's all gone out the window. HE Grenade does a lot of damage to Buster. He is on to only 54 points of health, as we do go into the contact play towards B.
The entry, Buster hoping to leave him bruised towards B, but he wasn't given the opportunity. He does go down as KM wanted to defend that site with his life. Avangar. It's looking a bit awkward already. Obviously, this round decides if Renegades will have themselves at match point and have the overtime safety net at the very least guaranteed. The bomb is still left towards mid. They're extending through, hoping to scatter themselves out. But they're looking quite scarce. They're far and thin between. They're not in fantastic angles just yet. The bomb can be recovered at least. And no real frags have been picked up. JKS on the site goes down to Jame. Maybe this could be the difference maker, but things get a little bit complicated, Snods. The response can come back through. It just depends if Renegades are given an angle of opportunity to strike.
4 versus 3. As the bomb makes its way now in towards his B bomb site. Re-smoke as well towards CT, which will allow for the cross for Krizen safely. But that is the last bit of utility here for the Kazakh side. As they patiently wait for the bomb to go down, it will be planted as well towards B main, so the players, Kuka, Dimasic as well have presence into the afterplant. Molotov in towards default. And here comes the retake underway from Renegades.
Oh, you can always depend on Kuka in these situations. This is where he can go huge, and he's still living up to that hype, Snods. 3 frags to his name as he just looks elegant with that AK, assaulting everyone with his rifle, and it falls just on Nifty. Trapped in a horrible little angle as he just tries to stay alive and stay hidden. Gets tagged up though. He was detected so low as he's just on barely 30 HP, but he's keeping himself in the action for now. Forced to retreat. He's going to need to be swift about it. Jame has the angle on lockdown. Actually finds these frags. Nearly cleans out the house of the Avangar boys. But he will go down the end. Avangar get the round. By no means was it easy.
12-14. Avangar found a lot of success towards the B bomb side, it seems. Renegades going for the retake, risking it all essentially, but the money is still decent. They can afford to go for some sort of a buy. They go for the double Molotov setup towards default, but obviously you had Kuka, Dimasic as well, in towards Checkers, in towards B main. They can always play the afterplan in that scenario, especially when you saw Avangar go in towards a double CT position where they pushed through the smoke after it faded, which was rather smart actually. The boost here. Boosting up Mistillo in towards the shroud position. But have they done it effortlessly? Have they done it silently? Seems like Avangar haven't actually reacted to it just yet. Flashbang comes in. 2 players towards Highway and obviously 1 towards the shroud boost. They also have Jacob playing towards Connector and Nifty alone towards the B site. Crucially doesn't give up the first frag. So now, 5 versus 4. Nifty has full domain, full control towards B, and they can keep 4 players close.
Q-cut as well with a headshot there on Azza. So he does actually land that one. Using the rifle to its full effect. Crizzen still just lying in wait, listening out for the audio cues and the information to telegraph what exactly is going down and being cooked up towards the A site snods. When in reality, a play is going down over at mid. They extend their way through. They've got the feelers out. They can actually start to clear these angles and gain some map control here. And the backstab potential because of it could be incredibly lucrative for them.
Yeah, it's a shame it's with the AWP as well. But he has the information. Nifty's gathered it all. All 3 players here towards the A site from Renegades. Spots at the player towards the Shroud boost and actually will win that duel. JKS towards Forklift gets a second as well into this round. The reface as they line up from Jacob as well. An easy 2 case. He sprays them both down. And now we see 3 match points for Renegades to close this one out 2-0 and send Avangar, well, more like Avangon, as they go back home.
That is true, Snods, as Renegades have just been able to lock that one down. It seemed like the slower, methodical style of play from Avangar might have been a bit of a difference maker. There was always potential, the mid-crunch, everything looked like it was starting to work out, but it was just dismantled, and you just cannot account for that. The JKS factor is just too high in this best of 3.
Here we go, then aggression towards team A, and actually nets the first frag going in favour of Avangar as Crizzen lands the headshot onto AZR. 5 versus 4 as Renegades. Look at the instant over-rotation towards that A bomb site. 3 players here from the CT side make their way towards A, leaving just Jacob alone. The new addition right now about to be tested. His true intrinsic worth.
Ooh, spray down coming through. Jacob wants to close this one out, and what a way to finish the series to send Avangar packing as he gets the headshot on Crizzen. Q-Kurt will respond with a CZ, lands the headshot on Jacob as he is dealing damage, but is it enough? They have to jump across. They get past the smoke and do bypass the defense so the bomb can go down, but it's still a 3v3.
Justillo for the flank here. All comes down to Q-Kurt versus Justillo. Oh, and the timing, look at that. Just as he wide swings towards mid-main, Justillo's down the flank. 3 versus 2, and now Renegades have the advantage.
Oh, Renegades have a huge advantage now as well. Furthered by JKS. Justillo and JKS, they just need to play together. Justillo on the entry, gets the frag. 16-12 is the scoreline. Avon going home as they will be kicked out of group, sent packing, and that will be Renegades keeping themselves alive as they take victory in the best of 3 in a 2-0 fashion. Looking good through and through.
Yeah, got, rather close there, obviously. Avangar putting up some sort of a resistance or a show, some competitiveness definitely there, apologies. But, yeah, I mean, you factor in how they've been holstered up by these pistol round victories as well. 6 out of 6. They have 100% pistol, round win victories. And where is the 16-14s? Where is the one map victory? They've lost every single map here. And usually for the upsets, in terms of keys to victories for these upsets to happen, especially in the best of ones as well, we always allude to the pistol rounds being the catalyst for those upsets to come to fruition.
Well, it's true, right? They set you up into these power play positions to really get the ball rolling. You build economy massively, especially on that CT side. The factor that, your economy is so weak, it takes so much to nurture it. You get those pistol rounds. You build up a nice buffer. You can get the buys out. You can get your ball rolling, get yourself into a good position. But even when that happened for Avangar, it seemed like as soon as they got into pistol rounds, cracks started to show, playstyle started to shift, communication seemed off in a few rounds. It definitely came back towards the end and boded well for them. They showed they have a competitive edge. They showed individually they're all very talented. There were a few ridiculous rounds that proved that.
I mean, obviously this game got close, but what happens if we don't see Avangar going into a 7-1 deficit? They were down 6 rounds early on after claiming the pistol. They lost versus the Clocks. Frustrating there for Avangar to be sent home without winning a single map as well. So, same goes for a team like Order as well. Interesting to see for the Aussie team how they can try and compete. Obviously, I think the next match is NIP versus Order. Covered by Hugo and Harry in just a second. But, I mean, closing thoughts on Avangar. Online, they have the confidence, the skills there. Yeah. Did it really transition that well over? I think they had a much better performance at the major qualifier. Interesting enough, I actually forgot to mention this one, Jack. Renegades was sent home at the major qualifier by Avangar. Avangar exited the major qualifier 2-3. They lost versus QB5. Remember the outrage where people were saying, oh my goodness, the draw, either QB5 or Avangar are going to the major. Obviously, it seems like Renegades had the last laugh.
Yeah, obviously coming back through here at IEM, being able to keep their dream alive and stay alive in that lower bracket, because it was the loser being sent home here. This was your run over. You were out of groups. You took a loss in the best of one, and that was it. That's why those best of ones were so important. And there was still close affairs that we saw throughout those first few games of the day. So interesting stuff. Obviously unfortunate for Avangar, but there's a lot to learn from it, right? They're not walking away empty-handed. You've got to think of the fact you've got the demo against SK. You've got now demos against Renegades as well. You can still learn from those mistakes and improve. For me, it just looked like a bit of a different team on LAN they were online. Definitely in terms of confidence and how they called, it seemed like there was a lot more coherence, maybe just feeling more comfortable on the online.
Usually, I mean, watching the demos back, how they qualified, it was... I mean, the easiest way to break it down was, you get the first frag, be it Buster, who got aggressive, be it Jame, extremely aggressive, usually with the AWP. They'd get a 5 versus 4, they'd all, fall back, they would compose as a 5-man unit, and they would play trades. They would go in towards a site as a 5-man unit, trade their frags, and basically win out in the afterplants, 3 versus 2, for example. But instead, they'd get the first frag. That player that got the first kill then overextend, then suddenly it was a 4 versus 4, or they would, let it slip. There was no trade frags, there was no crossfires. It all went south.
Yeah, well, it seems like Gambit Tyloo will actually be the next game that is going to be going down. I know, bit of a curveball through that, yeah.
I know, I wasn't expecting that one, was I?
Trying to keep you on your toes, and it should be exciting. Obviously, a juicy game to come up next. That is going to be covered by Harry and Hugo here live on the B stream. So stay tuned for that, as that will be the next game of the day here.
Intel Extreme Masters.